Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad you're here this Thursday morning. I was looking at the calendar. We're getting close to halfway finished with June, the beginning of the summer. It's amazing how time flies. And also, days are getting longer. We're getting closer to that summer solstice, and we'll be talking about it later on. But let's just take advantage day by day, each day at a time, and have the most fun and do the best things you can for everybody each day. Weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center at 767-5500. You can join a nursing program. They have a computer program up there, a big welding shop, and all kind of stuff you can do at Haney Technical Center. Weather today is going to be up in the 90s again, about 91 degrees we're looking at, and the low tonight will be around 72, and the water temperature now has gone up to 84 degrees. That's pretty comfortable right there. Good situation to, I think the seas are dying down a little bit. It might be okay this weekend to take the kids out to the beach, or, the undertow don't look too, but check it now. Don't take my word for it. Check it. It could change, but right now it's subsiding compared to how it has been the last week or so. Take a look at our river readings. The Apalachicola of Bluntstown, we're looking again at flat line. I know we talked about this yesterday. All the folks up in Georgia getting a lot of good rain, and hopefully it will be coming on down our way soon. But now the Choctawhatchee at Caryville is peaking out today at 9.3. And it's going to stay up, it looks like, for the weekend, and maybe Saturday afternoon, just start going down a little bit Saturday afternoon and start dropping out. So the river readings are in good shape. The Choctawhatchee shot up just like we had anticipated with this much needed rain that we've had. Now take a look at a Carl Vernon Marine Specialties tide chart. Carl takes care of docks, sea walls, any kind of boat houses or boat lifts, so I'll give Carl a call there. Now we're looking on the 14th of June. And we have a high tide this morning at 6:28. It's going to be falling out until this afternoon at 5:09. Got a pretty decent tide today, and this weekend, if you want to look up on the 15th and 16th, we have a good strong tide coming this weekend. In fact, the next couple of weekends, some really good tides the whole month of June on our weekend outdoor activities. Okay, take our first break, and we'll be back with our special guest.
Your vision is precious. If an emergency arises, you don't want to be sitting in a hospital waiting room. Accidents and injuries can happen outside of your workday. That's why our team of physicians provide emergency eye care to our patients anytime, day or night. You can count on your local experts in eye care to be there for you whenever you need us. The Eye Center of North Florida.
9 doctors, 1 vision, yours.
Come join the Panhandle Outdoors team. Beat the rush and stock up on our team shirts and hats in a wide variety of colors and sizes. For your convenience, we offer a Panhandle Outdoors shop at panhandleoutdoors.net. Simply visit our website and click shop.
You can also check out our selection at Sunjammers Water Sports on Panama City Beach. Come join the Panhandle Outdoors team.
Time. It takes time to shape a mower, to evolve it from great stock. As the leader in commercial mowing equipment, Exmark spent a lot of time designing the next Laser Z, honing it, testing it, perfecting it. Why would Exmark spend so much time crafting this mower? To make sure you spend less time mowing. Visit nextlaser.com or your local Exmark dealer.
Sweet Old Bob says see and save on all Exmark products today at Sowell Tractor.
We are so lucky to live in North Florida. We have some of the best fresh and saltwater fishing in the world. My biggest problem is not catching fish, but trying to decide what kind of fish I want to catch. No matter what I'm after, I always stop at Sunjammers Water Sports first. They have just what I need: rods and reels, line, tackle, and most important, live bait. Yes, sir, we sure are lucky.
Okay, welcome back, and welcome Lieutenant Stan Kirkland.
Good to be with you, Winston.
Stan comes on once a month. Always fun to have Stan on. He's always has so much good stuff to talk about. I just like to sit back and let him tell us all this good stuff. But a lot of stuff going on, Stan.
Yeah. Winston, one of the things that we thankfully don't have that occurs over this way too much are sturgeon strikes, where sturgeon actually hit people in boats. And we had our second incident this season over on the Swanee River, which is not in our region, but it actually hit the first one about a month, I think it was on May the 8th, hit a guy and severely injured a guy. He ended up, I think he's okay now, but sturgeon, you know, they leap over there for some reason more than they do here. Of course, they've got more fish in the Swanee River. The population there is estimated somewhere between 10 and 14,000 fish.
I was going to ask you, you know, we see them leap up in the Choctawhatchee.
They do.
But there never seem to be many incidents in Choctawhatchee compared to the Swanee.
Well, we've had 2 incidents in the Choctawhatchee. There is a person up now lives in Washington County. He did at the time, this was about 10 or 11 years ago, he did live up here near Bozeman. Near Bozeman School, but he was hit in the chest and severely injured. He almost died from it. He had a broken sternum and he had broken ribs. I think his heart was bruised, his kidneys, and he ended up losing control of the boat after the thing hit him and knocked him out of his seat, and 2 other fishermen found him. But anyway, and then we had one other incident, and he made it through that. He had to have surgery, but he made it through that. There was another incident where a father and son were canoeing for just a leisurely day on the Choctawhatchee, and a sturgeon came in the boat and hit the child. The child was wearing a life jacket, and it kind of hit him in the chest, but the life jacket cushioned it, and I think they threw the fish overboard, I believe. Then there was an incident on the Yellow River where sturgeon leapt up out of the water, hit the bow of the boat, and then kind of cartwheeled into the boat and hit one of the passengers several years ago. But you see a lot of them. I know I was talking with Scott the other day. He said his fishing buddy, the dog doctor, or as he calls him, said he saw about 60 the other day up the river where Holmes Creek comes in. So I know I've been over there before. In fact, I took a writer with the Miami Herald who was doing a story about sturgeon incidents. I took her up to the river. We pulled up to the landing there in Ebro, and it was like it was scripted. This big sturgeon just came out of the water right in front of us, and within 5 seconds, she saw what she wanted to see. And so, but anyway, yeah, thankfully we don't have that many population. Frank Peruka I think Frank just retired with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, but Frank was telling me last year that the population on the Choctawhatchee is now believed somewhere around 3,400 fish. So the population's kind of going back up. They were. I think you've got a photo of some sturgeon that some boys caught back in the 80s when it was legal to catch them. Of course, now these fish are protected, and the population's coming back. But this is Johnny Mac Porter on the left, and a young man named Delton Sheffield on the right, and they had caught these sturgeon in the upper river. But these are almost like armor plated. They got big. It's almost like armor on them, big plates like bone, and so you can understand when they come out of the water and hit somebody. Probably the craziest thing is I had a coworker that several weeks ago was sitting on the Swanee, and she had a fish to jump. Her boat was stopped, but she had a fish to jump. And she caught it in the corner of her camera. I think you've got photos. Right there in the corner of the camera. And it missed her head by about 2 feet.
You can. They're hard to get a picture of.
Yeah, but she's sitting there filming what she thinks, and all of a sudden this one comes out of the water. And she said the thing that made her the most aggravated, it got water on her sandwich. So
that's a pretty good picture there.
Yeah, that's a good picture. That's another one she made while she was sitting there. But you can understand if you're on a boat and you're coming down the river and that thing comes in and hits you, you're in trouble.
It goes back to the speed of the boat, and all times it just increases the volatility of the situation right there, and the pressure when the fish hits you. Another reason for not going fast on the water.
Exactly.
All right. And really the best thing is just go slower. I guess the best way to.
I don't know what to tell people. Over here we don't have that many incidents, but that you probably should slow down. The sturgeon migrate into these rivers in the springtime, and then they will be here. Frank was telling me they don't feed when they're in the rivers. Right. They don't eat the entire time they're in our rivers, and they won't leave until this fall. They'll stay in the river, and this fall they'll begin to migrate down the river. They go out in the Gulf or the bays, and that's where they spend the winter. And then you'll see them back. You'll see them back next spring. And apparently, this has been for thousands of years. This is the way they've done it.
Well, and like I said, Frank is still working with him. I saw him the other day. He's still working on them some, so he is an expert on it.
Yeah, I went over with him over in a small group over on the Blackwater River recently, and he caught. He and the crew. I think Frank is the. I think he's the one that probably knows more about them, but I think they had 11 that morning in just a little while.
I call him the godfather of the sturgeon.
Well, that probably, he needs a shirt that says that.
Let's take a break. We'll be right back with more good information.
Panama City Beach is known as one of the top dive destinations in Florida. Divers Den offers daily dive charters that can accommodate up to 13 divers. Our boat captain is U.S. Coast Guard certified and a PADI dive instructor. We have trained professionals who offer a variety of scuba certifications. Come see us at our 2 locations on Thomas Drive and Tyndall Parkway.
When you're looking for sales, parts, and service for your outboard, all in one location, you're looking for BJ's Marine. You're authorized Tohatsu and Nissan dealer. BJ's Marine does it all. They have outboard parts and a service center and used motor sales too. Tohatsu, reliable, dependable, fuel efficient, and lightweight. Tohatsu Outboards, technology for the next generation. BJ's Marine, 1317 Transmitter Road since 1991.
Steel, the #1 selling brand of handheld outdoor power equipment in America.
Create a custom yard care system with the Steel Combi System. Edge, trim, prune, and more.
Buy a KM55R Combi motor for just $209.95 and get a pair of hearing protectors and safety glasses for just $15.
Start easier, work smarter, finish faster with Steel, #1 in America.
Guido Bob says see and save today and every day on all Steel outdoor products at Soul Tractor.
When you stop by Blue Water Outriggers, you will find everything for your outdoor adventure. Stock up on all your favorite brands and shop for some of the latest outdoor gear and accessories. You can also shop online and have your orders delivered straight to your home. Our flagship store is nestled right off the Highway 98 in the Port City Shopping Center, just steps away from the Port St. Joe Marina. You will love our selection, our prices, and our friendly service.
Okay, welcome back here with Lieutenant Stan Kirkland, good outdoorsman in his own right, and I've had his kids in my class, and they're outdoors people, and the whole family outdoors, and Stan...
they all learned to throw a cast net in your class. I couldn't teach them because I still sometimes, I think, throw it over my own, I get it over my arm and my head and everywhere else trying to throw it.
If I'd known your son was going to be a doctor, I'd have been more careful of his hands and all, but he did well. But he's a doctor now.
Yes, he is.
Yeah,
he sure is.
Up in Birmingham.
Yeah, he is.
Okay, now getting back to the outdoors,
all right.
What do you have? Got 2 or 3 things to do?
Well, I'll tell you what. First of all, let's mention about. I think you've got a photo here of an example of something that we don't want to do, and this is. Now these guys did good. They were on a hog hunt over on the Acilla area, which is over just outside of Tallahassee. This is a 480-pound hog. That has been fixed. He's been had been cut or castrated and released on the management area.
It looks like a hippo.
It is so big, and this is probably the biggest hog I've ever seen. But this is the second incident we've had in the last few weeks where we're encountering hogs that people are taking to public lands. This is illegal. It's highly illegal. It's illegal to move feral hogs unless you're permitted. And it's a problem not only in Florida, it's a problem all over the country.
Well, I tell you what's going on, and obviously y'all know this, that people can't afford to feed them. But like we just said off air, that's not a Piney Woods rooter.
That is not a Piney Woods rooter.
Like our grandpas used to shoot.
Yeah, that looked like a Duroc or
man.
Yeah.
458 pounds?
80 pounds.
480 pounds hog.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and like I say, we just had another incident over on Eglin Air Force Base recently where Officer Randall Brooks that works with us encountered some guys that were bringing hogs in to release them. And of course, Eglin's had a long-standing problem with hogs on the base and tearing up habitat of native species, eating acorns and things that native species have, and causing erosion and rooting up the roads and all this. And just about every state in the country except the arid parts of the Southwest are having problems with wild hogs. So it's illegal to move them. You can't do that. And anyway, but that's a big one.
We got bulletins of y'all too. We can hunt them pretty well year round now.
Yeah, you can.
And that tells you what kind of problem they are. That we really need. We need the hunters to get out there and take care of, help control the population.
And also for people that are having hog problems, there are people in the community, you can call our agency, but there's at least one or two people that trap hogs. Some of them do it one guy does it for a fee, another person doesn't charge. He just asks if he can have the hogs. So that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
And you're welcome to call us and we can put you in touch with these people.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Yeah, you got a lot of other stuff too.
Well, another thing I wanted to mention, Winston, is now we have for the first time in a long time, we've got a facility that is open for sportsmen for a fee. It's open for people that want to shoot for a rifle, pistol, shotgun, sporting clays, trap. It's called the Hard Labor Creek facility. It's up just across the line in the edge of Washington County. You go up 77, and it's just a little bit to the west near Hard Labor Creek. Ted Everett is the owner. I've not spoken to Ted personally, but I know that our hunter safety people have been working with Ted and the manager of the property. I believe it's $15 a day, if I'm not mistaken, but you can. We urge people that are looking for a place to go check them out, and I know they'd appreciate the business.
Well, this is a great opportunity for Stan to take a young person out there in a controlled environment and teach them the safety of a gun, and shooting a gun is a lot of fun. And that's a great place to do it.
It's only 35 miles from here. It's not a bad drive at all, but they've got hours which they're open just about every day. I think on Sundays. And the afternoons, the range is closed for 4-H shooting classes and all. But Monday through Saturday, it's open, and people are always calling and asking, where can I go shoot? Yeah. And so for the first time in this immediate area, we've got a place that we can send them, and it not be on a power line or behind somebody's house or something where there's a problem. Yeah. So
very good.
Yep.
Very good.
Yeah. Have we got time? One other thing I wanted to mention, Winston, we have a number of dogs that we use, the canines that we use for wildlife detection work or human detection. It can be used to either one. They find they use these dogs. Most of them are labs, but we have them now. We have dogs all across the region. I know Officer Mike Guy up in Jackson County has a beautiful dog. His name is Jake. But they use these dogs for tracking. They use them for evidence, discovering evidence. In fact, we had several years ago, we had an incident where a guy ran on a management. Well, he was actually on private land next to the management, but he saw the officer and ran, and they were able to track him. He was hunting illegally, and they not only the dog found his gun, but where he took and put took his finger and put a hole in the ground and shoved the shells in the ground. The dog found the shells as well.
Wow.
And even the The suspect was amazed, and he told him, he said, "That's a good dog." But anyway,
handcuffs, that's a good dog.
Yeah, that's a good dog. But anyway, but we have a number of these dogs have they have Kevlar vests that have been made for them to protect the dogs. In fact, some of these dogs are occasionally lost where suspects shoot dogs that not necessarily our dogs, but police dogs when they use them in that. So, but we hopefully will have vests for all of the dogs eventually. But these are great dogs, and they're not bite trained. We don't use them to bite suspects, but they will find a suspect. They're great if somebody wanders away from, say, for instance, a nursing home or facility, elderly person, or if a child is lost. They're great for tracking. In fact, one of our dogs was used just last week over in Lake City, where a guy beat an elderly man and tried and robbed him, and the dog was able to track the guy for over a mile, and they caught the person.
Good. That'll give them a big reward, and we'll give them a big bone for doing that.
They should.
All right, let's take our final break. We'll be right back.
On the water or under the water, success starts at C&G Sporting Goods. C&G specializes in fresh and saltwater fishing tackle, floundering supplies, spearfishing equipment, and much, much more. C&G also has licenses, maps, and expert advice on where to go. For over 59 years, C&G Sporting Goods has been the headquarters for the outdoors man. Fishing, hunting, camping, guns, and ammo. They've got it all. C&G, home of the experts, downtown Panama City.
When you need to get the job done, nothing beats the reliability, efficiency, and value of a Kubota. And right now, during Kubota Rewards, take advantage of 0 down and 0% APR for up to 60 months on new Kubota garden tractors, compact tractors, zero-turn mowers, and utility vehicles. It pays to own orange. See your Kubota dealer today.
See and save on all Kubota tractors and equipment at Sowell Tractor today.
My name's Captain Rick Corley. I'm a SAMS accredited Marine Surveyor, NAM certified Marine Surveyor, and IAME certified Marine Investigator. Been surveying since 1969. Was taught by my father, who is the oldest, longest practicing Marine Surveyor in the world. We do all types of survey, commercial or pleasure. Steel, aluminum, fiberglass, wood, makes no difference. Give us a call at 850-527-5287 or visit us online. We'd appreciate your business.
Are you still waiting to do something with your IRA, 401k, annuities, or other investments?
My dad has an economics degree from Vanderbilt University, and he helped me with my homework. A lot of people call themselves financial planners, but my dad passed a board exam to be a certified financial planner. He's very easy to talk to, and he spends a lot of time with me.
To my existing clients, thank you for your friendship and loyalty through these uncertain times. And to everyone else, don't wait until it's too late. Call me today, and let's see if I can help.
All right, welcome back to the final segment of Panhandle Outdoors. I always like to start it off with our Express Lane fishing game forecast for today. Our peak outdoor activity periods were 8:52 to 10:52. We just round that off, say about 9 to 11 this morning. And this evening we're looking at 9:15 to 11:15. That's brought to us by Express Lane, American owned and American operated. We have the new books out.
Yes, sir.
Check this out, folks.
Yeah, the new hunting regs are out. You can go by your tax collector's office and pick up a copy. You should be able to get them there, or you can, if you're close to our regional office in Panama City, you can come by there and we'll give you a copy as well. They should be, it'll take a few days to get them widely distributed, but they should be out. It's time to apply for your quota permits and all that. So, you know, it's hot as everything right now, but it's time to be thinking ahead, because by the time, before you know it, we'll be through the summer and into the fall. So.
And it really has good drawings and everything on different management areas and what's legal and illegal, and it breaks it down.
We try to make it as simple as we can. In some cases, some people think it's a little complicated, but the public land, of course, we have quota permits on a lot of them just to limit the number of people. And private land, it's pretty much, you know, you don't have that to deal with. On private land, it's just the dates. And you know, one thing that you will see in the book, And one thing that we're starting to talk about a little, and we want people to, we're going to have some public meetings, and we're going to have public participation. There's going to be some surveys, but we're going to be reaching out to people in the next few months on the subject of, do they want deer zones in the state, or smaller areas in the state managed for deer. In other words, do we want, for instance, more antlerless days? And then of course, and how do we get there, and that kind of thing. So we're looking at going to these, we call them deer management units, DMUs, but we're looking at creating perhaps 12 or 13 of these across the state. But all of this is in the discussion stage. Okay. So we'll see where that goes.
All right, we got a couple more minutes. What else we got?
Well, a good story that just, and it was a great ending just off of near Tampa a couple of weeks ago, where 4 guys went out on a boat. They were on a 19-foot boat, and they were coming in on this boat, and the boat actually took on water. It was heavy seas, and of course, over the last 5 or 6 days, the snapper season, it's been rough weather, and you just can't. You risk your life to go out in rough weather on smaller boats. But these guys took on water, and the boat rolled, and they were in a pickle. And here they are, 20 miles offshore. And fortunately, one of them had a cell phone in a bag, and he had a presence of mind to put his cell phone in a bag. And he called 911, even though he's in the water. He called 911, and they got his call, and he was able to keep his phone dry, and told them, and a FWC officer actually found them. They had enough information to know about where they were, and they found them. This was at night. It was a miracle they found them, but it was like looking, for a knee in a haystack. The point of all this is, though, if you go offshore, you really need a way to communicate, VHF radio. But you also, you need to think about, if something happens to that radio, how do you tell somebody? And you really need either one of these EPIRBs or the handheld, the smaller EPIRB that you carry with you. And the EPIRBs are a little more expensive, but the smaller units are not that expensive. And they're great communication devices. There's also another device called a SPOT, which is a emergency communication device you can carry with you. So things.
The situation, we've all been there. A big wave comes and it happens so quick, and you're not prepared for it. So he was very smart to have it in a waterproof container.
And not only that, all 4 guys had put on their life jackets.
Oh, good.
And this weekend we had, I got a report. I think I sent you a copy. Yeah. We had 3 fatalities last week in the state in boating accidents.
Yeah.
2 of those would not have happened had the people been wearing life jackets. So, one of them was a lightning strike.
Oh, so wear your life jackets. We got to wrap it up. Stan, thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Winston.
Good job. Thank you all for watching the show. You support our sponsors, and today you do something good for somebody, and God bless.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.